Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are on the globe. I'm Professor Shirin Takenay. I'm the chair of the Global Engineering Deans Council, and it is an honor and a pleasure to moderate today's session. My guest today comes from born Turkish, gone global electronics giant, and he will be talking about innovation and sustainability in their portfolio. I can't wait, but I cannot let him have the microphone without giving you an excerpt of his excellent resume. Dr. Emre Oğuz is the Director of Research and Development at Arcelik Global. He's based in Istanbul. He holds the doctoral degree from Istanbul Technical University, and where he studied, did most of his studies. He's a young, brilliant colleague. He's participated in innovation and entrepreneurship programs organized by business schools, including Harvard Business School. He is the R&D director that, as the global engineering community, we want to have give a webinar for us this day and age, and you will see why in a couple minutes. So without further ado, I thank our speaker again for making the time to give today's webinar, and I will erase myself off your screen and leave the microphone and the camera to dear colleague, Dr. Emre Oğuz.
Thank you very much, Professor Tekinay, for this nice introduction. And please allow me to express how glad and happy I am to be here today with all of you. So I will start very quickly sharing my screen.
And as you're doing that, let me just iterate that this webinar is being recorded. Right now it's live broadcast all around the globe, but it will be available to our membership. And at the end, I will be farming out the questions to our speaker. So again, thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Tekinay. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, welcome to our session on innovation and sustainability, even at the next new normal. But before going out to the topic of today, I would like to briefly give some information about who we are, who Arcelik is, and what we have been doing. I can say that I will keep this very short, but just to let you know who Arcelik is. Actually, Arcelik is one of the largest household appliances company in the world today, with over 5 billion euros sales turnover annually. We have 15 different brands and 28 production facilities. Actually, Beko is the very well-known brand in Europe. It's almost #1 in market share as the brand. So Grundig is also another brand we have, which we use especially for our premium lines. And Arcelik is the local brand name we use here in Turkey. And we have almost 40,000 employees worldwide. So looking very quickly to our global production footprint, today we have factories from Turkey to Russia, from Pakistan to China, and from India to Thailand. And we also have very local brand names, which are the market leader in these different countries and regions. And I'm sure we have colleagues here listening to us from different regions of the world. And for example, in Romania, we have the Arctic brand, which is #1 in there. And in South Africa, we have the DeFi brand, which is again the market leader. Or in Pakistan, we have the Dolan's brand, which is again a market leader in these different regions all over the world. So actually, the research and development is at the core of everything we do here at Arcelik. And the Central Research and Development was established in 1991 This year we will be celebrating our 30th anniversary. We are very excited and enthusiastic about this. But after the establishment of central R&D, we now have 30 R&D centers all over the world with more than 1,700 researchers working at these different facilities. We also have more than 3,000 patent applications. We are doing all of the manufacturing of the white goods based on our own technology and intellectual property. So very quickly about our R&D centers. We have different R&D centers in Turkey, in our manufacturing plants, but we also have the central R&D, which I'm representing today. And in addition to the R&D centers in Turkey, we have a small R&D office in Cambridge Science Park in UK, another group in Wuxi, China, and we also have some R&D facilities and researchers in Taiwan and Thailand as well. It's important for us to get fully integrated to the world and the cutting edge research and technology. At the central R&D here specifically, our organization is not based on products, but based on disciplines. We have very large groups working on mechanics, electronics, material science, structural design, and other fields. And within these large groups, we also have smaller research teams ranging from 20 to 30 researchers. And these teams are also based on scientific disciplines like thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, food technologies, or nowadays, definitely the Internet of Things, the cloud architectures, cybersecurity. We all have these different disciplines, and the colleagues, researchers from these disciplines work together in interdisciplinary projects and programs. But of course, we are not only doing this research and development by our own resources, because we believe that open innovation and connecting with the outside world is very, very important to be successful in the future. So just a couple of examples from our outside R&D network. We are the leading company in terms of Horizon 2020 Europe research programs in Turkey. So we have almost 17 projects running at the same time at the Horizon 2020 platform. But other than the Horizon platforms, we also engage with different universities and become members of the different research consortiums all over the world, because we believe in collaboration and we believe in open innovation. So this was just a small picture of who Arcelik is and what we have been doing at the central R&D. And now I will slowly move to the topic of the day: consumer insights and sustainability as the engines of innovation. So I would like to start with the sustainability, because sustainability is at the core of our business model, and we are leveraging the technologies we develop to keep in touch with the business, to keep in touch with the planet, and definitely to keep in touch with the human needs. Of course, for the planet, as we all know, and as we are all aware, the climate crisis, one of the greatest challenges we as the humankind face today, is almost at the core of everything we do in the research and development of Arcelik. So waste management, plastic crisis, they're also very important problems, and I will be addressing some of them very shortly. But let me also emphasize the importance of human needs. Of course, combating food waste, which is also very crucial and which is very, very related to our products, as we manufacture almost 10 million refrigerators every year, and definitely to help to grow healthy next generations is very, very related to the food we consume each and every day. As Arcelik works on these sustainability issues and problems, definitely this led to a very, very good achievement for us. We are very proud to say that we have been recognized as the industry leader in household durables category for Dow Jones Sustainability Indexes, second time in a row in 2020. and we will continue our efforts in the sustainability domain in the coming years, and we take the EU Green Deal as a framework for this activity. So now let's go to the details of how we are dealing with these problems and what kind of products and technologies we develop and we would like to collaborate on. Plastic pollution, plastic waste is a huge problem, as you know. And if you are someone who likes eating fish, at the end of year, you might have eaten a plastic as big as your credit card. It's one of the greatest challenges of our time. And to help to solve this problem, we have developed different technologies. The first technology is the recycled PET tub. We recycle the PET bottles. You know, PET bottles is a great problem. The plastic itself doesn't decompose almost 500 years on Earth. So we collect and recycle these plastic bottles into the tubs of our washing machines. Actually, it's not a recycling, it's kind of upcycling because the original plastic composite uses glass fibers for the tops of the washing machines. But when we put a recycled PET instead of these glass fibers, then it means upcycling. And these products are already available on the market now. And we recycle almost 25 million plastic bottles every year to help to fight this plastic waste problem. So another example is the waste fishing nets, of course. It's another perhaps unseen, unknown problem because you do not see these waste fishing nets on the surface of the seas, but they are deep down and they affect the marine life and the human life, of course. So we also have some programs to collect these waste fishing nets and turn them, recycle them into the components, for example, buttons and knobs of our ovens. So this product is also now on the market. We developed the technology to recycle all these waste fishing nets. But after accomplishing these recycled plastics and putting them into our products and helping to heal the environment, we came up with the question of whether we can make the whole refrigerator biodegradable. It was really a hard question, a tough question to answer, but based on our research and development projects, we developed some prototypes. They are on the field trials at this point in time. But as you can see, the egg trays here, they are made of eggshells, actually, 20% of them, and 80% is made from bioplastics. Fan covers and gaskets, they also use bioplastic materials. And the hardest challenge is actually the polyurethane foam. So I'm sure there are some colleagues working in insulation technologies, in mechanical engineering areas here, and they are familiar with the polyurethane foams, also the chemical engineering groups. So this biopolyurethane is developed from industrial soybeans. So now they are on the field testing phase at this point, but we hope that we will be able to further develop these technologies with collaboration with other research institutes and universities, and we will be able to deploy these products, biodegradable products, on a larger scale in the future. Of course, the other side of the story is the organic waste composites, like coffee greens or tomato pulps and tea tree fibers. We're also trying to put these organic waste composites into our products to make our future healthier and more environmentally friendly. So here we have a video. I will be very happy if our colleagues can play the video because we have a huge problem on microfiber issues in the oceans. So can we start the video now?
Did you know that every meal you eat may contain more than 100 pieces of plastic? Microplastics now form approximately 60% of the materials that make up our clothes worldwide. When they're washed, they release tiny particles of plastics. These can remain in oceans and water resources for hundreds of years and find their way into our food chain. That's why we have created the world's first and only washing machine with a built-in synthetic microfiber filtration system. This revolutionary technology filters more than 90% of microfibers leaking in the water sources. This system will reshape the future of the water resources, wildlife, and most importantly, our food chain. Respecting the world, respected worldwide.
Okay, thank you for the video. I hope my screen is back now.
Yes, Emre, thank you.
Okay. Okay, as you have seen, sorry, I couldn't close this. I will try it like this. Okay, as you have seen from the video itself, the microplastics from the clothes we are wearing, and while washing them in the washing machines, unfortunately, they are torn apart and they are in micron size. And if you do not filter them, unfortunately, these microplastics go into the oceans. So we are very happy to say that we developed a technology to filter these microplastics. And now these products are on the field trials in UK, France, and Germany, and we are hoping to put them on the market in the coming year. So now if we continue, sorry, I now have a problem. Sorry for this. We also have some slowdown in the connection. I think, sorry for this, but let's continue. Of course, for sustainability, we haven't spoken about the energy efficiency of the products. It's also another great field of work to increase the energy efficiency. But I would like to mention one more technology that was developed and deployed in South Africa with the DeFi brand. It's the solar fridge. We use the solar panels and the inverter technology to connect this generated electricity to the compressor and the refrigerator so that the refrigerator can work both on the solar energy or the grid electricity when needed. It also has some spatial insulation, which helps to keep the coldness or the food for a longer period of time. So these are some of the examples and technologies we developed for the sustainability, but this is just one part of the discussion today. Now I would like to go to the second part, because the second part involves the design thinking and the consumer insights. However, I'm afraid I have some problems with my computer. Sorry. Okay, I'll start again. Sorry for this. Okay, I'm terribly sorry for this inconvenience. We have code already tested twice, but you know, sometimes it happens on the real presentation. But let's continue with the new subject. The subject is the consumer insights. Actually, I'm sure some of the colleagues who are with us today are familiar with the design thinking concept. So design thinking puts the consumer at the center of the research and development phase. So we start by trying to understand and empathize our consumers. What are the real needs? What they really need during their daily lives? And then we define the technical problem which should be solved by the research and development teams. Of course, after the ideation session, it is necessary to rapidly prototype some solutions because it makes the whole development cycle much faster. And of course, testing these unmature prototypes also helps to get some early consumer feedbacks. So in order to be able to do this, we also established a facility which we call the garage. And within the garage, we work with different departments, even with our guests from outside, focus groups, etc. I hope you can see some photographs of the garage. On the upper left side, you can see the maker area, where researchers from different disciplines come together and work on different projects. And on the bottom left side, you can see the rapid prototyping area, where we have some metal and plastic rapid prototyping facilities. Of course, we also have some structural designers which would help coming people to design and further develop their ideas, so that you can develop your own idea and have a prototype within a single day. So here we will have another video. I hope we will be able to play it smoothly. Okay, I will continue from where we have left. However, I think we have some problems with the video, so I think it would be better to skip the videos afterwards. Sorry for this inconvenience. Okay, let's continue. I hope you can all hear and see. I hope that you had the chance to see the whole video, but I'll very quickly go through the photographs in case we have a delay or we had some problems. So actually, researchers from different disciplines come together, and even we include the marketing, the business development, and other departments, even from universities and other research institutions. Interdisciplinary teams come together, try to understand the consumer needs and insights, and then with the help of ideation techniques. They then generate different solutions to these problems, and then very quickly we prototype these potential solutions, and then of course we test them again with the consumers. So this is an interesting way to put the consumer at the heart of everything we do. I also would like to give a solid example and combine it definitely with the sustainability. So for the refrigerators, of course there are different needs, I would say, or focus areas like convenience, efficiency of the refrigerator, or healthy living, because we are keeping our foods inside the refrigerators, or the design. So when we pick a healthy living here, definitely we try to understand and listen our consumers. Some of them say freshness is that my products still look like the first day. Some others, consumers say, I don't want to go to grab new food very frequently. I want an improved technology that keeps the nutritional value. And based on these insights, we try to develop different technologies and different approaches. And one of them has been the HarvestFresh, as we call it, because you know the fruits and vegetables, when put inside the refrigerator, they start losing their nutritional value. But we thought, okay, what if we can mimic the sun cycle inside the refrigerator itself by the help of different colors of LED lighting, like keeping the crisper, let's say 12 hours in darkness, in some blue tones for a couple of hours, and other tones, because the light, the color during the sunrise and sunset is also different. We realized that during our food technology studies, this cycling inside the refrigerator itself keeps the nutritional value much higher in terms of, for example, vitamins. And of course, we also developed some additional technologies in terms of thermal sciences, heat transfer, mass transfer, which will keep the nutritional value inside the fruits and vegetables for a longer period of time. So this time, I think I will try to play the video by myself without switching. It doesn't have any sound, so I hope this will work. You can see different refrigerators. One of them is an ordinary one, and the other is one of the latest technologies we developed. So by optimizing the airflow, the temperature, the humidity inside the refrigerator, you can really maximize the time the food where the food is kept inside the refrigerator. And this definitely helps. This definitely helps to combat the food waste, because we think that food waste is also a very, very huge problem we have today on the earth. So just a few figures about food waste. Actually, 1/3 of the world's annual food production ends up in trash, as it has been reported, which is equivalent to almost 1.3 billion tons of edible food. And the economic consequence seems to be around $750 billion annually. But apart from wasting so much food, the resources we use to grow this food, vegetables and fruits and meat products, they are also very important, because they also consume energy, which definitely causes greenhouse gas emissions. They also use the land, the water resources we have on the earth. So we think that preserving food for longer periods of time on a more healthy and nutritional state at the cooling appliances is an important step to combat the food waste and all of these waste occurring because of these food waste. So while we were, of course, working all of these technologies and coming together at the garage for innovative technologies, as you all know, our world was somehow stopped by COVID. So we also would like to give you a couple of examples about the new normal and how we approach this new normal in terms of generating new ideas and technologies. The life at new normal, as we all know, of course, we have been through this all together. We started working at home. We continued eating and cleaning home at a more frequent phase, and we started entertaining ourselves at home, so our lives have changed. So we also observe that the next normal consumer has different needs because the usage of household appliances, household products increased dramatically. We spent a lot of time at home. Health and hygiene definitely became an more important factor in our lives. Digitalization accelerated, of course. These all brought some quality challenges to our lives. So we try to employ this design thinking approach and putting a consumer at the heart of this innovation study. So I'm sure some of us at least will remember the days we were removing or washing the packages before entering our homes or cleaning the shopping bags. We required more space for storing food. We required more disinfectants, etc. So we thought that we could do something to help our consumers to ease their lives within these periods. So when we reviewed our technology portfolio, of course, temperature is one of the important factors for disinfection. The other one is the UVC radiation, because it is known that UVC radiation breaks down the RNA and DNA of viruses and bacteria. And lastly, of course, certain kinds of disinfectants, they also help to combat viruses and bacteria. So using these technologies, we developed different compartments using, for example, the UVC lighting. We put the UVC lighting into different products like the refrigerator. I will show some examples right now, or the clothes dryers, so that we make sure that we kill all of these bacteria and viruses, including COVID-19. So we came up with a new line of products, the Hygiene Shield. Almost 300 experts worked for 4 months because we wanted to make it as quick as possible. And now we have more than 14 patents protecting these technologies. So you can see in more detail, for example, the ultra hygiene compartment inside the refrigerator, where with the aid of UVC technology, we can kill viruses, including COVID-19. So coming to the end of the presentation about this new line, we employed agile approach because we thought that we didn't have much time. We had a multidisciplinary team. They were dedicated, focused, and they were sharing the same goals, of course. And we think that for the coming future, for successful research and development projects, agility is also one of the key factors for being successful. So I would like to end my words here by summing up sustainability is at the core of everything we do, fighting climate change, increasing energy efficiency, fighting with plastic waste. And we also do this by putting the consumers at the heart of everything we do to help them ease their lives and bring them convenience. So thank you for your participation and listening to me. It has been a pleasure for me to give this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Emre. We're not letting you go just yet. We have some questions for you. Questions have been creeping in through our chat window, and it will be my pleasure to direct them to you. But let me first start by saying thank you so very much for that exciting, insightful, informative presentation. I, for one, really enjoyed it. Well, before going to the questions in the chat, I will exploit my power at the microphone and ask a selfish question. selfish in the name of the Global Engineering Deans community. Of course, Arcelik has been our corporate sponsor, more than a corporate member. Arcelik has one-on-one sponsored some of our efforts in diversity in engineering, for example, and continues to do so, which we're very grateful for. And we are firm believers that university-industry relations, while difficult, are mutually beneficial and beneficial to society. So where do you see Arcelik's involvement evolving to in the coming years with universities, with organizations such as the Global Engineering Deans Council? You mentioned R&D centers around the world. What are general themes in your university relations?
Thank you, Professor Tekinay. Actually, we believe that building strategic collaborations is very important in terms of university and industry collaborations, because after a couple of projects together, the both sides understand each other on a better level. Both sides understand their needs and they can work more effectively. So I think it's very important to build these strategic relationships with different universities, with different academicians who have expertise in different scientific fields, I would say. And we really wish that these relationships last for 5 years, 10 years or more, as long as the two institutions exist. I would say that will be our preference. And in terms of scientific fields, of course, we have 4 strategic pillars. One of them is definitely sustainability. So increasing energy efficiency of our products, decreasing the carbon footprint, recyclable materials, both plastics and other metal materials. This is one of the core areas which we would like to collaborate. The other one is the digital era, of course. We have a connected product range. So digitalization, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and connectivity, cybersecurity. These are also very important areas for us in the future to strengthen our collaboration with the universities. And of course, including some new features like the HarvestFresh or completely new products like disinfection units will be on our agenda for the coming future.
Excellent. Thank you so very much. And some of what you said is, of course, part of our mission too, as the academic leadership of engineering. Related to that is a question about whether the Arcelik products innovations, I should say, are patented. I think you mentioned one about the hygiene at the end, that it's a patented technology, but what are some of the avenues towards co-innovation for the rest of the world to make use of the intellectual property, not just the products?
Okay. Okay, thank you. Actually, we have patented most of the technologies we developed, of course, but we are also very open to make some of these patents public because we truly believe that sustainability, climate change, plastic waste, they are really global problems. So, for example, we have patents for the microfiber technology, as we have seen through the first video. It has a couple of patents, but we make these patents available for our, let's say, competitors, I would say. They can use our patents if they can connect with us, because we think that such sustainability issues shall be solved or can be solved if we come together and if we fight together. So for such critical issues, we are very open to make our patents publicly available and usable. So I think in the future, this policy and strategy will continue, hopefully. And for other areas, we are also open to co-develop technologies and patent them together with universities and other partners as well.
Thank you so much for that answer. I guess we have academic colleagues in the audience, so the next question again has something to do with your university relations. This will help colleagues in the academic world. You talked about the agile model, and agility, of course, is extremely important. So how should universities, engineering colleges, and schools prepare their students for that kind of cultural, social engagement in the workplace on a team like your team in Arcelik?
Oh, okay, that's a great question for me. Thank you. Actually, we see that during, let's say, the last years, the projects at the universities for the senior students, for example, now some teams are formed, and these teams work on a specific project together. But these teams at this point in time still formed from the same discipline, I would say, mostly or generally. I'm sure there are different applications in different universities, but generally speaking, they are from a single discipline like mechanical engineering or electronics engineering or food engineering. So I think it will be a very, very valuable experience for the students to come together from different disciplines and to work towards a challenging product or technology development project together. Suppose that different students come together from mechanical, electronics, food engineering, just as we did here for example, HarvestFresh, and they get to know each other, which is also true for the professional life. When someone starts a new job, a new career, he also gets to know the team members. And so I think it will be somehow just like a simulation of the real professional life. So I think such multidisciplinary teams coming together frequently, updating each other on the progress of the project might mimic the agile way of project management at the real life, I would say.
That's extremely useful. Thank you. On a tangential but related topic to what we just talked about, Arcelik seeks to recruit top-notch talent from around the world. I know that you have some programs to bring in globally recruited talent to your research and development team. But even the best of the best coming out of universities will need to be retrained, reskilled up in a couple years. I don't want to date myself. I did wireless communications way back when it was a new thing for my graduate studies. And what is the continuous learning schema, if there is any, within Arcelik?
Actually, we have a very strong program. I believe so. Actually, we call it Tech Pro because Professor Tekinay, as you mentioned, some of the colleagues working with us got their degrees in, let's say, in the early 2000s, when we didn't have this much of the digitalization, when we didn't have this much of sensors all around, when we didn't have this much of connectivity or machine learning algorithms. So we think that it's very important to upgrade their skill sets, to make them learn new skills based on these developing technologies. So we have a Tech Pro program, which we developed with a couple of different universities together. Our colleagues here, researchers, attain classes based on different topics ranging from, I would say, sensor technologies, advanced manufacturing technologies like 3D printing or machine learning algorithms or speech recognition, depending on their background, of course. So it's just like a formal training program for almost a semester, I would say. So up to now, I think more than half of our engineering force has been retrained within this program, and I'm sure we will be establishing new programs with the help of our collaborating universities and academicians together in the future.
Wonderful. Any plans to open these up? Because as the International Federation of Engineering Education Societies, we're starting to accredit some of the micro-credential developing certification programs. Maybe we can work together on that. So just a thought off the top of my head. But I want to stay on the topic of digitalization. What is the impact then of all this digitalization and big data on your manufacturing technologies, on your product technologies?
Well, actually, I would like to take two sides, the product itself and the production technologies,
Okay.
because the digitalization of the product, we already have, I think, around 1.5 million connected products on the market as of today in different regions of the world. So these connected products, definitely there are still some features which we develop, but I would like to give a single example. For example, for our new washing machines, you will be able to rate the washing cycle performance, because they are based on some standards, etc. But every person is different, so we think that individual or personalization is important for products. So you will be able to rate the smell, the wrinkles, the cleanliness of the clothes you wash. And after getting some data from directly through our application, HarvestFresh, then a machine learning algorithm will be running to optimize the washing cycle directly for your preferences. And through this connected device, we have the capability of updating specifically your software at home. So we will be updating your washing cycle software program specifically for you, which will definitely enhance your experience and satisfaction with our product. So this is just an example of the digitally connected products. And on the production side, of course, digital technologies, Industry 4.0, they had a huge impact on the production technologies. And now the flagship factory, one of our factories in Romania, is actually selected as the lighthouse factory by World Economic Forum. And because it has something like 2,400 data points signaling data every second, so that all the manufacturing process optimizes itself with artificial intelligence, which definitely increases the productivity, decreases costs, increases quality, because every part is measured digitally by computer vision and then assembled accordingly. So digital transformation on the production technologies will lead us to higher quality, lower cost, and optimized production systems.
Impressive. And when you say higher quality, lower cost, this is a continuous quality cycle, right? With all this data collection, the factory's learning to improve itself. Impressive.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much. I believe we are coming up on the hour, and maybe it's a good time to thank again dear Dr. Emre Oğuz and all of our colleagues at Arcelik. Final thoughts. The Global Engineering Deans Council Industry Forum coming up in September 20 to the 22nd will be an online event. Reminder to our community. We are looking forward to getting together at our hybrid event that will be both face-to-face and online in Madrid at our annual World Engineering Education Forum GEDC conference in November 15th to the 19th. And throughout everything we do, Arcelik has been an invaluable sponsor and partner to us. So again, with all our gratitude, we look forward to many more years of collaboration and co-innovation. So thanks everybody for participating. See you next time. Stay safe. Thanks again.
Thank you everybody. Thank you, Professor Teknay.
Pleasure. Signing off now. We have the added information in our chat window for all to see and hopefully participate. Thank you very much.